What have the past 2 weeks been like for you, and how impactful and how helpful has it been to have someone like Dan where you can pick his brain because he went through this a few weeks or 2 years ago?
Yeah, it's been crazy, but really cool. Obviously, great opportunity for me and my family, but excited about what we're doing here in this next game. Excited about the opportunity to compete against James Madison, a really, really good team, and really just focus all my energy right now on the Ducks.
James? Probably take a long time to answer this, Will, but you speak to like the adaptability that you've had to have this season, particularly the second half of the season, because we thought before the year of like you're going to do more 12 and 21 regardless. All right, maybe not to the extreme you have, but you were. But when you got down at one point against SC to three receivers, and it's not just, well, you're running more, so you're passing less. There are fewer plays. There's pacing differences. There's personnel differences. How much of in preparation and in game have you had to adapt? Maybe more than at any point, not just here, but in your career.
Yeah, this has definitely been the most non-11 that I've done in my career. I was at Lake Travis. We kind of had the same personnel grouping out there the whole time, and we just morphed it into different looks. UTSA were heavy 11, had some 12, and then here just this year, especially like you mentioned, it's been a lot of different. But that's why we practice so much. That's why we walk through so much in the winter, spring, summer. We build the plan out based on our personnel groupings first and how we see those kids fitting in each scheme. But we also make sure we practice the same plays at a different looks all week, just in case. And it's really played a big role to our success this year on offense. If you think about some of these games, it's like 3% 11 personnel, 40% 21, and another 50 something percent 12. So it's been really cool. And I'm really proud of the team, really proud of the guys. They've just been adaptable. Like you said, that's the key word. And they've attacked every single week, you know, like it's a championship game.
Second row, Eric.
I guess the follow-up here, and probably a dumb question, is, but how much would it help to have some of those receivers back, and kind of what would you'd like to see them kind of offer if they're available?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to be full strength going into this game, and I think those guys are working back and feel good about their prep up to this point to give us an opportunity to potentially see them in this next game. But we're willing to do whatever it takes, and if we got to play with 10 offensive linemen on the field and one quarterback, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out either way. But no, I'd love to have everybody back. Being a team full strength going into this game against James Madison would be very, very good for us.
Right behind him.
Just heard a little bit recently just how much Dante's grown as a leader, and Dan was just saying that like it's very obvious this just isn't just another game. What's the emotional messaging side of it? Like how do you talk to the offense and just the quarterback room in particular about how to handle a game like this?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a 60-minute game. It's not necessarily different in our prep. I think our coach Lang's done a great job in how we've prepped up to this point, making this week truly like a game week for us in terms of our schedule. But our guys have never changed. They attack every single day in their prep. They practice with a sense of urgency. So I don't know if the messaging is different than any other game. It's a win or go home. We all know that. And James Madison's an elite team, one of the best 12 in the country. So our guys are really prepared right now, and they attacked last week with a sense of urgency, and they're doing the same this week. So I don't necessarily think it's a different message. It's just continue to double down on our process, which has worked up to this point.
Go next row back, Isaac.
Hi, Coach. Listened to your podcast with Dan Casey the other night, and you talked pretty extensively in that about all the different kind of coaching trees you've come from. I'm curious in a follow up to some of the different personnel looks. Which branches of those trees do you really pluck for when you're looking to add to those playbooks? Get into some bigger personnel packages to back stuff.
Probably really goes back to my high school days, to be honest, when I was a player for Bob Beatty at Trinity High School, and our offensive coordinator, Andrew Coverdale, was one of the best in the country. We were really multiple then in high school. We played in the split backs. We did 12 personnel looks. We were under center. We were in the gun. We'd motion. We'd shift. We'd huddle speed break. We did a lot of things in high school football, and that's why we won a lot of games, a lot of state championships. I think ever since then, it kind of just bled into my overall philosophy of how to play offense. It's not a bunch of new schemes. It's just how can we dress up our plays a million different ways out of different personnel groupings. Then when I played at Louisville, Sean Watson was a big um, West Coast guy where we get under center, I formations, and 12 and 21, another, multiple looks. And Bobby Petrino's same way, using backs. He was really good at using running backs in the past games. And really fortunate to work for guys and play for guys that were creative in their own sense and used their personnels to their advantage.
There's a lot of expectations with Dante going into this season, and it feels like he's maybe even exceeded it to the point where he's being talked about as maybe the number one pick. How do you feel like he's grown since day one of fall camp to now going into the playoffs? Just where have you seen that improvement? Because he wasn't viewed that way maybe at the start of the year.
I think Dante's grown in a lot of ways. I mean, obviously he's playing at a really high rate right now. He's operating the offense like you want. So I think that's the biggest thing is operation, being able to take the huddle, call the play. Like he's to a point now where I can just kind of start the play call and he knows what I'm about to call. And I think that's really cool for me to see. And it shows the confidence that he has in our system and being able to articulate it at the line of scrimmage or in a huddle. I think I've seen a lot of growth there. Protection checks, run checks. He's been really dialed in on that. And just kind of playing with a swagger out there, which is really cool. And I think that's really showing throughout our other, the rest of our skill guys in our offensive line. When Dante's on, when he's got that pep in his step, we're really hard to stop. So my goal to continue that within this game and to start him off fast early on and just keep the ball rolling.
Back right, Aaron.
Your offense is kind of played in a lot of different weather conditions, under a lot of pressure, and some of the toughest environments in college football, and been able to win in a variety of ways. What role do you think their composure will play in now the biggest game of the season?
Yeah, it's probably been the most unique season that I've ever had with rain, with injuries, but they've been composed from the get-go. And I credit really our offensive staff and Coach Lanning. I think we're composed as coaches. Like we practice coaching as much as our players practice playing. I know that sounds kind of weird, but we play the game in our head. We play the game in our offensive staff room all the time. So we've already kind of set in our mind there's going to be issues in a game. There's going to be problems. No game is ever perfect. It's really how you handle those situations that makes, that's the difference between winning and losing. So I think we've done a really good job as a staff, just pressing pause, resetting our focus. All right, somebody's down. All right, what's the next plan? All right, get to the next play. Not worrying so much about the outcome, just focusing on our process. Like I mentioned, like Coach always says, double down. We just keep doubling down and just always coaching, always coaching. Again, credit to our offensive staff for that and our players. I think have really fed off our energy.
We're going to go to the Zoom. Max.
Coach, with some of these wide receivers hurt, we've seen some offensive creativity and guys step up. I want to ask about the tight ends. What did you think about Kenyon and how he did kind of getting flexed out wide, and then Jamari Johnson stepping up to deliver some big plays for you guys?
Yeah, Kenyon's, he's had I don't want to say a difficult year because he's made unbelievable plays, but he's been banged up here and there. But really proud of his November has been really good, really good. And, he's practiced his butt off and done a really good job in games, making some huge plays for us. He's so versatile. You can line him up anywhere. Had a scout say to me about Kenyon, and it's so true. Like wherever he lines up on the field, that's the position he looks like he's playing. I mean, receiver, tight end, running back, H-back, like he fits the mold of wherever he's lined up. So, he's an exceptional player. One of the most talented guys I've ever been around, and just a great teammate, super humble, and has made, really good plays for us. And then Jamari Johnson, he's another guy that's going to be one of the best, I think, tight ends that ever come through here. That guy is a freak. He's doing everything we ask him to do. He's another guy you could probably throw him the ball about every time, but he's just accepted his role on this team. He's obviously our true Y, but he's a matchup nightmare for people. He's all of 6'6", 250, got giant hands, catches the ball really well. and can block at the point of attack. So proud of that group. Even Roger's made some big plays and done a really good job in line for us as well. So Coach Manager, I mean, credit to him for getting those guys ready to roll and those players for buying in.
Staying on the Zoom. Adam?
Will, just wondering how you've approached your time management and also delegation in these sort of dual roles here the last few days.
Yeah, I mean it's not easy. Dan has done it before, so I'm leaning on him. Tosh is in it as well, so it is what it is. I mean, we are extremely focused on this game, number one, because this game is the most important thing for us right now, and we have to make sure that we are pouring into these players that have poured so much into this program here at Oregon. So that's really currently right now in this moment where my main focus is making sure that we have a great game plan for James Madison, who's a phenomenal team, especially defensively, is the number one or number two defense in the country. The rush defense is stout. They have great players on that side of the ball. Their coordinator is really good. Their head coach is really good, and they're dealing with some of the same things that maybe we are, but it's all noise. If you let it get to you, it could be an issue. I've chosen not to let it get to me and focus on the task at hand. And when I need to delegate to, University of Kentucky, I do that. But when I'm here at Oregon in the building, all focus is on the Ducks and winning this first playoff game.
Last question here, Zach, on the left.
Can I ask, what's it like going through this process with Tosh, kind of going through the same thing? Does that make it easier for you? And, it's not always common for coaches to stay on, when they get hired somewhere else. What was it about this team that kind of made you want to do that and choose this path?
I mean, I wouldn't be in the position I am without these players, without these coaches, without Dan. I mean, I would feel like a complete fraud if I left these guys throughout this playoff run and this opportunity in front of us to coach in Autzen another time. I mean, it'd honestly be crazy. And Tosh is the same way. I mean, we've poured so much of our lives, so much of our time, our family's time into this team and this program. Coach Lanning gave me an opportunity from UTSA. The last thing I would ever do would be to leave these players. So that's number one. But yeah, it's obviously unique with me and Tosh and what's ahead for us. But I know he's in the same mindset as me, taking care of business here in Autzen one last time and putting our best foot forward with this group of guys.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks.